Moving on. Let's get it out of the way. Can you just address, the timing of when you want to make a decision about quarterback and how you look at that situation?
Yeah, I prefer to make it as soon as we can, but we also want to do our justice and those kids' justice in terms of we want to be accurate in our decision. We want to make sure we're making the right decision, and we've been out there 2 days and we're still playing basketball right now. We're not in full pads, so we'll make it whenever it's the right time to be made, if that makes any sense. And could it happen in the next 5 days? Possibly. Could it happen 2 weeks from now? But we're all gonna know in this building when it's time to be made, and we're all gonna know in this building who the guy's supposed to be. So we'll make that decision whenever it's the right time to make it.
Some of the linemen mentioned that you coach the quarterbacks. One of the details is the cadence, that it's consistent so that all the guys kind of sound the same. Why is that important, and how do you get them to?
Sure, we try to. From the minute they walk into my meeting room, day one, we have them do the cadence in front of our quarterback group. And then we obviously do it in front of the entire team. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to simulate the exact cadence. So if we do have an injury, Michael Brewer, Mark Leal, whoever's in there, Dirk and whatever, sounds exactly the same. So there's so the lineman can come off the football efficiently.
I know the rules allowed you to meet with the quarterbacks over the summer a little bit. You still have to see a guy like Brewer on the field before you can really start to get a sense of what he's about.
I think you get an understanding about a guy's professionalism, how he handles himself. I think which I'm excited about, I think the whole room has changed in terms of how they meet and the efficiency of a meeting and how you're supposed to write everything down, the details. I think it's improved unbelievably, and we need to continue to handle our meetings like the professionals do, like the pros do, and that's where it starts. That's where you get better. That's the beginning. That's the foundation, is knowing what to do. And I think that the culture in that room, in terms of professionalism, writing things down, asking questions, involved in the meeting, I think it's been much better.
How different is that? I mean, you have 7 guys now versus 3 in the spring. It seems like just a bare bones.
Well, the competition, in the grand scheme of things, competition changes everything. The way you walk into the building changes it. The way you meet, everything's important. The urgency, everyone's watching. They get it. So I like it. We've upgraded just through the pure fact of competition, and we'll see where we're at. We're not anywhere where we need to be to win the championship yet, but I think we're moving in the right direction. We just need to move fast.
What was so attractive about Michael Brewer that made you want to pursue him? Was it just the fact that he had experience in Division I level in a passing offense and had sort of been in some of the battles before and was immediately eligible?
Yeah,
all those things.
All the
was
above.
there anything else?
All the above, and also, you knew him during the time when he came out as a high school kid. He has character. He's a winner. I mean, if you look at his track record in high school football, he's a winner. Chad had him down. Obviously, Chad Morris, he had him down in Clemson, and so he was well coached, and yeah, it was attractive.
As far as Mark goes, I know you said the best guy's going to win the job, but is there any concern about the fact that, if he wins the job next year, you're starting all over again trying to find a new guy, or do you give any consideration to that whatsoever?
No, I think you need to look first the immediate time that we're in. We got to play with a guy that we think that can go out there and help Virginia Tech win. We'll deal with next year when next year comes. So, but the good thing is, the positive thing about the entire room is that you got Brewer, who's got 2 years left. You got a young Durkin. You got a young Ford. You got some youth. You got Motley. You got some young football players in there. So, really, we're not starting all over. This year, we're starting all over, if that makes sense. So, you feel a little bit better in the near future, I think, just in terms of we got to get a brand new guy ready with got a guy that didn't play a lot. You got Michael Brewer walking into the room. You got Durkin fresh off out of high school. You got Ford. Well, all those guys are going to be returning, and we're not starting from bare bones, if that makes sense.
Is it tough for a guy like Brewer to come from a shotgun offense to being under center?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I think the art of being able to put your hands underneath center it's difficult for those guys that have been predominantly in a shotgun offense, and it takes a while. Even these guys that are drafted, it takes them a while to learn how to put their hands underneath center and how to drop. But he's savvy, he's athletic, he's much farther ahead in that regards than guys that I've had some guys that have been in high school that have been in a shotgun offense that literally for 365 days they can't get a snap, and that's not the case right now.
He also mentioned that the checks at the line's new to him, that the terminology is longer. Is he picking it up quickly? Have you been impressed?
How do you?
Yes, sir.
Did you know coming in that he was the kind of kid who would?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, sir. You're dead right on. Yep.
How do you judge improvement for this offense this year? You lose a really good quarterback, but you brought back some nice pieces. Obviously, the final rankings weren't what you wanted, but how do you judge improvement for this offense as a whole this year? What do they need to accomplish to be successful?
Well, I thought we did a great job, and I'm probably repeating what you guys have asked me in January and February. Just to reiterate, we were great in the turnover ratio very early in the season, and then when the fact of the matter is you walked into a Duke game and you walked into Boston College, and if you don't turn over the football, you win both games, and we look at this season as a super success. So turnovers, we got to stop throwing interceptions, and you're gonna throw a few. That's part of the game, but we had too many last year, and those interceptions cost us. And not to defend anyone, but there's sometimes where it was Logan's fault. There were sometimes where it was pass protection breakdown. There's sometimes where the spacing with the wide receivers stunk. So that's a team deal. Anytime an interception occurs, everyone thinks it's the quarterback. Well, sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. So turnovers, and then obviously the biggest change that has to occur that we got to get better at is for the last 2 years here we haven't ran the ball consistently, and I keep going back to the vision that we have, what we want to be like at the end of the day is what you guys saw at Miami, and we want to be able to run it, and we've got enough going on in the throw game that it's difficult, that if we can have 2 threats going around out there, we've got a chance. But when you go back to the sacks, the interceptions, we had to throw the ball a bunch. And anytime a defense can make you one-dimensional, look at what our defense does. They make you one-dimensional really quick. They shut down the run. They force you to throw the ball. They pressure the quarterback. And once you push an offense into one dimension, so it's without a doubt it's the turnovers and it's running the football.
What have you learned from previous quarterback battles that you've been in charge of, you've been a part of, that you've applied to this? Like, do you do things differently now than maybe you did 5-10 years ago whenever you had a quarterback battle?
I think all situations are different. I've been in situations where I've had 3 NFL quarterbacks battling at the same time for one job. I've been in a situation where it was close, but really not close, if that makes sense, but you wanted to have that competitive atmosphere. So I think all the situations are different. The unique one about this is there's just limited experience, game experience, by all involved. That's probably the biggest difference. But I've been in that situation. You go back to the Gutierrez-Henne deal. There was Matt had limited experience, and Chad had 0 experience. So I think all the scenarios are different. Just like next year could be completely different. Then we'll have experience. So I think it's all quite different.
I was a freshman in Michigan, Chad Henne, Gutierrez here. I was talking to some people about it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Gutierrez got hurt a little bit in training camp that year.
He did.
But that Chad had kind of over the course of camp anyways had established himself as sort of the better option. Is that
Kind of.
kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of.
It wasn't presented that way in the moment.
If it was 5 years ago, sure, but I'm worried right now about what our cats can do right now, even though.
I just remember that is you guys didn't announce Henne was the starter till like maybe even the game.
30 seconds before the game.
Is that what we're in store for?
No, I hope not. I hope it was literally 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Getting Malik back, the development of Calvin last year, and then the switch and what we saw from Bucky in the spring, how different might some of the tight end packages be this year compared to last year?
We didn't have one last year. We had Calvin Klein what Calvin Klein did was really remarkable. Where I feel comfortable right now is terms of we have some bodies that are healthy. We've got a significant plan that we're going into, and so far we're okay. We haven't lost anyone, and I like where we are. I think we're very systematic right now. I think our kids understand exactly what we're trying to accomplish, and I knock on wood that we don't have to do what we did last year. We had a plan last year and had to literally scrap the entire deal, and whenever you're in training camp and you're sleeping 3.5 hours, 4 hours a night, and you're trying to restructure your entire deal, that was a bear last year. That was not an easy gig. But whenever you started losing, we were down, to our third or fourth tailback, don't quote me on that, you're down to a guy that you thought significantly was going to be 65 to 70 catches per year, that he's completely out for the year. You had you had a true freshman guy that played 13 football games his entire life. You had Sam Rogers, who never took a snap, who's a walk-on fullback. You had 3 wide receivers out there that never took a snap. You're instantly retracking your thoughts really fast in a short period of time. So right now we've had 6-7 months of really logical thought of exactly what we're trying to get done. We know what you're not removed in terms of you got a great understanding because you've been here a year of what guys can, what guys can't do, and so there's a peace of mind of what we're trying to accomplish right now. We just got to solidify our backfield at the quarterback position, solidify the running back position, and bring these young guys along, and you feel pretty good. You feel much better or much more of what you are and what you're not. Does that make sense?
You can wrap it up, guys.
Are you confident that Malik and Edmonds are going to be 100% healthy, and how important is that?
I hope
It seemed
so.
like 2 big weapons.
I hope so. I'm hoping.
Until you
I'm
see
hoping.
him.
I'm hoping no one gets hurt, and obviously, we just need to stay healthy, and because there's a set system right now, and I like it, and I think our kids like it. I think our kids feel confident. But when you have to start bouncing around like we had to do, wow! It was challenging. It was good. It was good. It was good lessons. It was all about that stuff, but it was a lot of sleepless days and sleepless nights, etc.
I think
Shane said,